If you've got pectus and you're wanting to build your chest, build muscle around it to make it look hardly noticeable, then I'm going to share with you the 5 best exercises that you should not be skipping in order to make your pectus as least noticeable as possible. And these are 5 of my most commonly used exercises that got me the result where I went from a pectus that always got pointed out when I was a kid, what's that hole in your chest, to people never noticing it anymore. And also, more importantly, me gone from being super self-conscious to proud and confident in my body. And these were 5 of the key exercises, and it's very important they're in your routine. So the first exercise is a dumbbell chest press, okay? Now the reason for this is compound exercises are key. A good program needs to consist of a lot of compound exercises that you focus on progressive overload and getting stronger, okay? Progressive overload on compound exercises paired with good nutrition is really like how we build muscle. It's a really optimal way to train. And I find the flat dumbbell bench press is one of the best to activate your chest. I think when it's flat, you're able to lift a lot of load. Putting the most amount of load and weight on your chest is really key. The dumbbell enables a better range of motion, and I find a better activation of your chest in comparison to a barbell bench press. Plus, it's less scary for a lot of people. So dumbbell chest press is one of my favorite exercises for pectus. Really make sure you're getting that full range of motion, that full stretch, and then you're also coming together at the top and getting that extra adduction at the top. So going through a full range of motion when you're doing a dumbbell chest press for pectus excavatum. My next key exercise that you need to not be skipping if you've got pectus is a cable fly, and specifically a high to low cable fly with a crossover is my favorite variation. The reason for this is compound presses are amazing and compound movements are amazing, but sometimes, especially when it comes to chest pressing movements, people often feel their triceps, their shoulders. And so I think when it comes to the chest, and particularly for pectus, because it's such an integral thing to develop to make it look less noticeable, isolation exercises help a lot. And I find that a cable fly is the best at activating the chest. And I find that the high to low is really key because it actually hits your lower chest fibers a little bit more. And I think getting the separation of your pecs from your ribs is key, okay? So making sure that the pecs actually are protruding. And then when you get that crossover, you're able to really emphasize that adduction and feeling those inner chest muscle fibers. Now our muscle fibers run the whole way, but we do have non-spanning muscle fibers, okay? And so they get extra recruitment when you're optimizing the adduction. And you just feel that squeeze, making sure you're activating your chest, getting that mind to muscle connection. And I think it's one of the key exercises for pectus. And something that is very important you're not skipping is cable flies, and specifically a high to low variant with a crossover is my favorite. The next exercise is a dumbbell pullover. Now, when it comes to improving pectus, it's about building your muscles to make it look better, but it's also about improving posture, okay? And I find the dumbbell pullover does both, okay? And that's why it's so good. It's such good bang for your buck. So it's gonna work the chest, it works the upper chest a little bit, it also works your lats, it also works your serratus, which I actually think helps with the rib flare appearance too. But it also improves your posture as well and your thoracic mobility. And there's 2 good ways to do it. You can do it with hips elevated or hips low. Either way, it's going to be a slightly different stimulus, but either way, you're going to get a really good stretch. You're going to work your thoracic mobility. If you do it correctly, with a slight bend, not too much flexion, because then your triceps work, just a slight bend in the arms, then you can actually activate your chest and feel your chest working. I like to do it after like some chest movements, so that way my chest's already pre-fatigued, just to help with the activation of the chest a bit more on it too. I do also sometimes do it on back day, because obviously it's working the lats a lot as well. But it is a great exercise for pectus. It does a lot of things in terms of muscle building, posture, opening the chest, so it's definitely something that should be in your regime. The next exercise is a face pull. Honestly, I think when it comes to that internally rotated shoulders and that rounded posture that makes the pectus look so much worse, I honestly think the face pull is probably the best one for countering that and strengthening muscles that when weak will contribute to that posture, okay? So with the face pull, it's really important we're retracting the shoulder blades back and down. We're getting that really good external rotation of the shoulders, and then we're pulling the rope all the way as close to your head as you can, feeling that burn in your rear delts and in your upper back, and then back, okay? So the face pull, like even just look at me doing it, you can see how it's opening my chest. Now what's important as well is when you're doing a movement like this, that you don't just expand your rib cage, because then that's actually reducing the range of motion. So you need to keep your ribs down and then work through that range of motion, okay? Because otherwise you're just cheating the movement by doing that. Face pull is a great one when it comes to helping with the posture associated with pectus. And that makes a big difference on terms of how obvious your pectus is. And then the 5th exercise is a cable oblique Russian twist, okay? I love targeting the obliques. It was something I did intuitively when I started this process 10 years ago of making my pectus less noticeable with training. And I really think it's been key, the development of my core, my abs, my obliques, for making the whole rib flare look less noticeable, which is a part of pectus. And for me, it upset me more than the indent. And so I love a cable oblique twist. I think they're amazing. And you know, a lot of people do these like body weight ab exercises, crunches, things, which are great. But I think it's important because adding load and progression is key for muscle building. And so a cable oblique twist is something you can add load. You can get progressive overload on. Okay, so I think it's a really good exercise that we all should be doing if you have pectus. These are 5 exercises you must be including in your program. So make sure you are doing them. There's also, you know, so many others. I've got another video which is 10 good exercises that you could check out on my channel. I've also got hundreds of workout videos and things on my channel as well. And then obviously I've got my coaching program where I'm going to give you a program that's fitted to you and your pectus and your circumstances, how often you can work out, your experience in the gym. And that's going to be your best bet to improving your pectus. So I've got a few client spots available right now. So if you are interested, link in the description, fixpectus.com, go to my website, apply, book a call with me so I can meet you, and then we can get things started.